Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be brought out by their Pro Bowl QB in his 7th year now in the Emerald City. It's Russell Wilson.
So knowing the style of offenses Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 30-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson escaping the pressure right. That is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Nick Vannett, 30 yards. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
In both locker rooms, the coaches talked about setting the tone early. Didn't matter whether you started on offense or defense. In this case, the team that had the ball first did exactly that. Took it right downfield and scored.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out, Deshaun Watson. This is a sight that NFL fans everywhere are happy to see. His return to the playing field. Their franchise quarterback, the one leading them out, back to full health now for his second season out of Clemson. It's Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 27. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Tom Johnson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Down. Move 80.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Fielded at the 43. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Nick Vannett with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to him until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Well, not content with the first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Hey. 10, black 22.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Tom Johnson.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try and account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Here's Wilson. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Wilson flush to his right. Down, but not before reaching the 21. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. We know he's got the arm, but watch out for those wheels.
Kind of harkens back to guys they used to call the scrambler and the dodger. This guy can make it work with his legs.
Field opened up. He took advantage. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, all the way down at the 21-yard line. On first down, Wilson. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jonathan Joseph is that wily veteran that you want on your team at all times. He's great in the locker room, fantastic on the field. And if you're a young guy, just watch how he prepares. What is he doing to combat old age? Pilates and yoga. That's extending his career, making him more flexible, and still that guy who can go out there and cover the elite receivers in the NFL.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again, eluding the pressure right. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, folks. 3 down. Tempo.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Bernardrick McKinney. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans hands team recovers. And here comes the Texans now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
To throw on second is Watson. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 40 yards. And the Texans get a bit closer. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. He spins free. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this.
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin, 47 yards.
Let's face it, it's tough to defend guys just in regular time. But when they get extra time, when the guy maneuvers outside of the pocket, that's just almost unfair because now trying to stay with a receiver, very, very difficult to do, and a big play is often the result.
Flushed out right, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, and it's second down.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's got to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson throwing again on 2nd and 10. Escaping. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, and it's a touchdown. Backbreaker, that'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. Nifty move. And some room to roam now. Tyler Lockett, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And Tyler Lockett does it again. Talk about being able to transition what he did in college to the NFL. And I know there were doubters because of his size, but this guy is absolutely electric with the ball in his hands.
Plays like that, that's how you become a Pro Bowl return guy. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. From the goal line all the way to the other goal line on that one. A full 100-yard return on the kickoff. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 23 yards on the play.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down. Because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Now Wilson on first down. Room to run past midfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out to kick is Janikowski. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Miller. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Wilson on 1st and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there at 22.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On 1st and 10, Wilson, flush to his right, past the 20. He's got the tight end, Vanette. A very solid gain of 27. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football.
Give me the ball.
And guess what? I'd throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now it's Carson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. Second and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. Penny will try to punch it in. Runs through the contact. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Well, he told us he was going to hit the end zone a couple times in this game. I just don't know that he envisioned doing it in the first quarter.
He probably did. I'm not sure we,
We did, yeah.
Right? Because all the great ones, that's what they do. They dream about it, right? They think about it. They envision it. They think it's going to happen and almost will themselves into it. I just look at what he's done so far and just wonder what's left to come. Let's sit back and enjoy this one.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 58 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking there for Bruce Ellington, and it's third down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Watson. This is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Frank Clark. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that.
Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Texans cut into that lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big hook up there, Wilson to Baldwin, and even 40 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 30-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson now to throw again, eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, trying to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. He's going to his left. A little bit tougher.
Exactly.
And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down.
Let's go, let's go.
Now it's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Watson, he finds Hopkins complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Watson on 3rd down. He's got Fuller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Watson letting one go deep for the end. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans get a bit closer. Such an art to not the eye, just hit the fin right there against the line of bounds.
Such incredibly flexible play, but a lot of practice goes into it. They work on it to make sure they learn train their feet to get down in bounds.
And there's a stop here. The Booth once taken a look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. And he spins through. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. Here's Wilson, flushed out right. Space to maneuver at the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Wilson now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. His throw incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment, takes it away.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
That's going to be caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. Spinning again. Oh, another spin.
Hard to line him up when he does that.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. The former Longhorn back home for Thomas. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. J.J. Watt in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Here's Wilson. He's going to air this, and that's caught inside the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
That was good coverage that was defeated by someone who just wanted the ball more, and it resulted in a big gain downfield.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out to kick is Janikowski. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now it's Watson, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, twisting away. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Whitney merciless. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. He's probably someone they want to get more involved at this point. 2nd quarter down on the scoreboard, you know that he can be a threat.
And because he's such a threat, as well as so productive, I'm with you on this. They've got to get him the ball more, give him more opportunities for them to have a chance to erase that lead.
Certainly they'll be looking to get him even more in the mix this go-around. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Green, the line.
Miller. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down. That's Miller. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And now it's 2nd down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders. So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And give him a gain of 37.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, it gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. On 1st down, Wilson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Zach Cunningham in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Bernardrick McKinney in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Zach Cunningham bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And a look now at Lamar Miller. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and
under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Shane Leckler now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Returnable for Lockett. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Wilson on first down. Flush to his right. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And off the deflection, it's caught. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Whitney Merciless in there to get him for his second sack of the night. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. He'll try to generate some more steam on offense down to the scoreboard second quarter. Not necessarily his fault, but he's always a guy they want to get extra involved.
Keep finding ways for him to get the football. Keep force-feeding him in that way. Get to the half. Kind of reboot, start over again to try and erase the other things that have them down on the scoreboard.
They'll be looking for a little more juice here in the second quarter before they do hit that halftime locker room. Throwing again is Watson. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a first down throw, Watson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the red zone now, Watson. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. On 2nd and 10, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On 3rd down, Watson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Frank Clark in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. Let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than it is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On 1st down, Watson, and that's incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Black 22!
He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that gets them back within 10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Lockett the return. He juked him. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and it's shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here. Trying
to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Let's get it.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bernardrick McKinney bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Wilson on 2nd down, escaping the pressure right. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra Really helps them on third down. Makes it manageable now.
The offense on third down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. To throw is Wilson. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Able to slither by. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. This is Carson. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Carson. Oh, and now he bowls him up. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Griffin. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Watson on first down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
And missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off, didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. This is caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. A shotgun snap for Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Braxton Miller, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans cut into that lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. Oh, nice move. A second nice move, a spin. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. He got 29 yards that time. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
On second down, Wilson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And spins away. A good return there, 17 yards. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. To throw is Wilson. Throwing on 1st down. And some space here.
Oh,
he will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 30-yard line. Here's Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Wilson to throw on second down. Eluding the pressure right. Gets past him at the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Here's Wilson, flushed out right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 4 plays. Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. The former Longhorn back home, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And out now come the Seahawks. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas.
On 1st down, Wilson. Flush to his right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Now Wilson on 3rd down, eluding the pressure right. Fancy footwork at midfield. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
under the category of obvious. You hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson flushed out right. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
Wilson now on 1st and 10. And the tight end Dixon left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now Wilson on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Bernardrick McKinney in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And now out comes Houston. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw forward.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide?
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Frank Clark in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Here's Watson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The 30, 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 69 yards, and the Texans get a bit closer. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2.
Hey, four down. Hey, black 22. Black 22.
Out of the gun, Watson. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed, near the goal line, on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. On 1st and 10, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. J.J. Watt in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin, 61 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat. That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Wilson, flush to his, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon, and the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Back to throw, Watson. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, it's Watson. That's going to be caught, and he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller from 3 yards out. And the Texans cut into that lead. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
To throw is Watson. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? And be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down at the 34. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson wants to throw it. Flushed out right. Now on the run. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. They give him a gain of 38.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Ed Dixon with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans hands team recovers. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
And his throw is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Check three. Single, let's go.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And a little floater there is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Nice move at the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Good night, everybody.